Hi everyone, hope you're doing great. Last session before our flight coast, we can't wait. Thought I'd give you a quick update on the charts. Won't be very long because we haven't had much price action, to be honest. Aside from the fact we've had a really nice movement off an area of strong demand on Bitcoin, which is what we wanted to see. So the weekend always is pretty flat, moderates back, but we remember how bearish it was, leading into the weekend and over the last the days leading back towards the middle of last week. So thankfully, we haven't had that ride down to 104. Thankfully, not thankfully, who knows? Like, as in, do you want this to happen fast, right away, nuke down, or do we want to just plod along sideways? It doesn't have to hit down at 105, but I think in terms of a target at that 200-day moving average 105, it's very juicy. So maybe the market is sort of anticipating that and is front running that. Excuse me. And yes, I think we've had a really nice reaction, as I said, guys, off that level here, just at is that 107, 108. So the core thinking around this level is 111 is the short-term holder cost basis. So the level where most of the short-term holders are at an average price point. So underneath that, they are in a unrealized loss. That tends to force capitulation and panic selling. So when we started to duck beneath that 111,000, we really got some strong momentum to the downside of the ETF, some of those outflows. We also had some bearishness in stocks as well. So there's a bit going on in the macro, but just broadly with gold moving higher, I don't see Bitcoin being down too long. We also ticked into Q4. Well, we're about to kick into clear that kind of respect, about to kick into Q4 in a few days' time when we move into October, which, seasonality wise, Bitcoin and crypto do so well, do the most of the meat of their moves in historical bull markets around this time. Now, my personal view is we are in sort of an extended business cycle, so it could very well lead in 2026, but the fireworks should start to begin now. And typically, when we are in this kind of patch where, overall the consensus is quite bearish, Bitcoin tends to lead the rally. So you can be quite skewed towards alts, taking on a bit of risk here, but I would just advise a little bit of caution if we just scoot on over to Bitcoin dominance. While the overall trend is clearly, breaking down, this uptrend was violated over here and it's just been breaking down since. Bitcoin very much tends to lead any rally to the upside. So that's what I'm watching here for the alts kind of just take a back seat here as they so often do. And we're waiting on Bitcoin to show us that energy that will drive us up, not on this 124, but up to that 150 or 130, 150 level. Now for mine, where we really want to be positioned, and I'll just see if I've got the chart that I want to show you guys. Yeah, this one here. So this is a much clearer chart in my view. You've got the demand, the buy up here, really nice squeeze back up here. There is going to be a heck of a lot of short sellers. So people betting that Bitcoin, is definitely going down to 105. A lot of their stop losses are positioned up here. So if we do get, and this is what this big green candle here is, this is a bit of short covering, meaning people are short here. They're forced to buy the spot asset, which drives the price higher, kind of to cover themselves. But my view is if we start to veer up into these kind of areas, 114,500, then we're going to see a lot more action, I think, to the upside quite quickly, just because of the energy and the fuel that's there. And also when you consider just how bearish it has been of late, with the shorters getting quite overconfident here. So there is a lot of energy to the upside for this to happen. Now, I want this squiggle to play out exactly like this. I want us to breach these shorter term moving averages, flip this horizontal, and this is crucial, don't get me wrong. So this here, this is support, resistance, 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 support, flip back into resistance, clear this overhead. So let's just call it 115 even. We sit back on top there, then we're really looking at those higher prices. Whether we get that now, I'm not sure. We could just be a bit of a slow burn for a little while here. But again, I think because of gold's movement, we're on a ticking clock here for Q4. All right, let's have a look at some other charts here. Ethereum's had a nice little move back above that 4,000 level, and it came back down. If you look just technically how nice this does look, you can see this roof over here. Ethereum came all the way back down, got into that 3.8 region there, basically just hitting the top of that lid, and now she's springing back up, and she could be on its merry way back higher again. But we'll wait and see. I want to see it getting above this level here, so 446, 45, let's say, even flip that level, and then really off to the races. Solana showed a bit of strength here as well this morning, which is nice. And this is a really nice structural chart where I want this to continue higher, but it's starting to look really nice to me. And also the BTC chart's beginning to improve. But, the RSI is still beneath 50. Want to see it clear above a little bit more. And that's where you'd see those higher prices. But look, if it does get above 50 and we see 220, that type of region Solana, then we're heading back to those highs. We're going to challenge for these, again, recent highs. Now, one of the best looking charts out there right now is BNB. I mean, just look at this, just this beautiful high, higher low, high, higher low, and now it's trying to reclaim that level where it's off to the races. I mean, that's closes there on a daily. I'm kind of just going along there personally. Let's have a look through the list. Anything else? SexRP, as it's often referred to, looks building potentially for a breakout, but until it does clear this downtrend and also gets above this horizontal, don't want to borrow it. So you can almost have a look at $3 as your level, potentially get interested again. Eigenlayer I was watching over the last few days. I like the look of the structure here. I think it's building for something here. I mean, there's a really important range that it's just quietly gotten above, and it's building this really nice high, low structure. So I would anticipate it actually finds support here and goes higher. But if it breaks down from that 175, that type of region, then it's coming back down here just to mess with everyone. But it's been on my radar. Asta, look, really nice response this morning. It's a bit hard on the daily. So Asta's the new kid on the block, like the hype perpetual dexes. I'll just get rid of that there. Came back down to the 0.5 on the Fibonacci. This is looking really nice. Again, I would be waiting for a bit of a flip of, the volume here. So there, but in overall, looks really nice. So again, a lot of these charts look really constructive, but we haven't had that power move. And again, Bitcoin will suck the oxygen out of the altcoins in the near term. But if Bitcoin's strong and looking like it's improving, a lot of these altcoin setups are going to play out to the upside. Sui, let's have a look. Yeah, it's a really nice move off the low there. Some really nice bull divergences, and it's really springing up. Gets back in there, and then it's off to the races for Sui, which is great. Apart from that, I think we're just being patient here, guys. Again, nothing more to really report. I mean, I could look at. Let me just scoot out to the weekly because we had the weekly close today. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so it was important for Bitcoin to really close back above that weekly 20, which is good, but we're getting a real squeeze here beneath the 10 EMA and the 20. So this is really going to move with some volatility in one direction. Whether it comes down to here, you can see the alerts prime down there on this trend line, which could very well get respected with a tap down here, or we begin our movement up back into that 120 region and maybe back again before we go higher. Yeah, hold on to your hat. Something is brewing. Everything looks fine to me. I'm not too worried about the market at all, especially with what we're seeing with the tailwinds ahead of us. So, yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this session. A little bit shorter than usual. Again, I'm heading a plane in about 1 hour's time, so I can't wait to meet Joe and the team over there. Have a wonderful day. We'll catch you soon. See you guys. Bye.